we can't have a true definition of love if we don't know Jesus personally and have a revelation of what it is that he's done. Everything I have is because he died for me. Without the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, we have nothing. I just love that it is a revelation of who Jesus is. One thing I always am hopefully really mindful of is making sure I understand what it is that I'm singing, and I get a revelation and I get it in my heart. Something I always love about our songs is that they're honest. They're not going to be, something that you can't actually relate to. And it's actually in the second verse, it says, I don't have the heart to measure up against all the pressure. So many generations, but particularly the young generation coming up, they're just being bombarded with the pressure of, to be honest, social media and just living up to a certain standard or whatever. And I just love that it says, I don't have the heart to measure up to all the pressure, because we're not meant to. All my strength exists in the confidence that I find in the thrill of your desire, which we're actually that's us as people, and the power of your presence. So my soul's going to sing. Everything I have is because you died for me. And I just love that we should never ever get too far away. We actually shouldn't get any distance away from Jesus and what he did on the cross. And I just love that this is again reminds us of the power of the blood of Jesus. But I would say for people who feel like they're not measuring up, don't feel like they're good enough, are struggling with comparison, we're very aware of our shortcomings. Not everyone, but a lot of people are very aware of their shortcomings. So I would say if you're feeling doubt or you're not feeling like you're measuring up, put on the song, because it will point back to Jesus. I know what love is. You died to save my soul whilst I was still an enemy, and whilst I have tried to measure up and do, Jesus did everything. We have to know our identity and our value, that it lies in Jesus, and that before we did anything for God, he was pleased with us and he loves us. And so I hope that people would be encouraged about where their true identity lies. Everything I have is because you died for me. What I reference to Colossians in the first chapter, in the Message, in verse 21, it says, you yourselves are a case study of what he does. At one time you all had your backs turned to God, thinking rebellious thoughts of him, giving him trouble every chance you got. It's that whilst we were still enemies to him, he died for us. It says, but now by giving himself completely at the cross, actually dying for you, Christ brought you over to God's side. Woof! And you put your lives together, whole and holy in his presence. You don't walk away from a gift like that. You stay grounded and you stay steady in that bond of trust, constantly tuned into the message, careful to not be distracted or diverted. And then on the other page it says, this is the only message of which Paul is a messenger. So hopefully this is the only message of which United is a messenger. And I just pray that this song, my prayer for this song, as someone who gets to carry this song and gets to carry the truth of what Jesus Christ did on the cross, and what we have through his blood that was shed, the wonder of his blood and the kindness of his heart, that he would save our souls, that we would stay constantly tuned into this message, that we would never get too far from it, that we would be careful to not be distracted or diverted, but we would continue to keep our eyes fixed on Jesus, the resurrected King.